everybody, welcome back to American History class with Mr. Finn. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the election that we had. So, on that note, I do want to explain something that you will have seen now. That is the Electoral College and what that is. The Electoral College is a group of electors that the system itself was put in place by our founding fathers. This Electoral College is what's going to technically elect the president during an election. So you have candidates and, we go out and vote. People like me go out and vote. If you're 18 and you voted, someone like you, maybe your parents, if you know someone that voted, our votes would count in the total popular vote. That would have been the category that you see from the election. The other one is going to be the electoral vote. Now, how does this work? Well, like I said, my vote, anyone's vote that you know, our vote gets counted in this total popular vote. That is going to, in practice, tell the electors who the majority of people wanted to vote. So, however, like I said, my vote doesn't directly elect the president, but it does tell these electors, hey, look, the majority of people, the popular vote, went to this candidate or that candidate. And from that, they will provide, the electoral votes. Each state has a number of electoral votes based on representation and senators in Congress. If you have government class, or you will have government class, you probably will go deeper into that. But the number of electors that each state has is based on your number of representation. And so, what that really means is the larger, more populated states, the states that have more people living in them, are going to have more votes. So, if you are a candidate, you'd say, oh, let's look at California. California has 55 votes. That's a lot. Wyoming, another state, has how many? 3. So if you were a candidate, what state would you want to win? You named it. You'd want to win California because it has so many more votes. And again, the electoral votes are the ones that elect the president. They are going to elect the president. So while the candidates for president were out there going in campaign trails, going to different states, they would spend more times in certain states that might have more votes than less votes. So if you had a choice, you would go to a state that had a lot of people. Texas has a lot of people living there, which means they probably have a lot of representation, and they're going to have a larger number of electoral votes. Now here is how this works. If the total popular vote goes to one candidate, the electors are supposed to say, okay, we know who our state wants to vote for, and then all of the electoral votes go to that candidate. So if the total popular vote came back for California and said, I, Mr. Finn, was the winner, more people voted for me in the total popular vote, the Electoral College would say, okay, we give our votes all how many? All 55 votes go to who? Go to me, because I won the total popular vote there. And that's the way the election map is going to break down that you're going to look at today. You are going to see the representation of the Democrats, and our Electoral College map. Biden is going to be blue, Republican, and Mr. Trump is going to be red. So when you look at the Electoral College map today for the election, you are going to see an election map that has a lot of different, just blue and red colors in all these different states, and that will tell you who won that state. So the first thing I want you to do when you look at the election map, since we talked about California, look at California. What color is California on that map? Is it red or is it blue? Red or blue? If it's blue, that means that Biden would have won that state, and Biden would have got how many Electoral College votes? 55. If it's red, that would mean that Trump won and got 55 votes. So what I want you to do today, because it was the election, I think you have a good understanding. I hope you have a good understanding. If not, watch this again. You will see when you look at the map of the election, a map that has these colors. All the states will be red or blue. And you are going to tell me, give me a summary slash reflection. Half page because I want you to take a look at the map too. So it doesn't have to be longer than a half page because I do want you to take time to, at this point, go to the election map. Go type that into Google, and I want you to give me a summary or your personal feelings or a reflection or what happened, what states were what was the, probably should be in here, question mark. What was the total popular vote? Question mark. What was the electoral vote or count? That should be in your summary. Again, reflection, summary, tell me what the numbers were, what states were influential do you think? Anything about this election is what I want. A half page. Again, make sure you get it in today. We have been doing a great job. You guys have been doing a fantastic job. And again, I will tell you that every time to make sure you get it in today for attendance and participation purposes. And on that note, we'll continue moving along with ratifying the Constitution next time, but we had to take a little time out because we did have an election, and I want you to take a look at it. I do this every 4 years, so it just happens to be on one of those 4 years for you. Take a look, give me a quick summary reflection of what you think, some of the numbers, and I will see you next class.